Focus here our attention, please.
When I think of the word Play-Doh, I'm immediately taken back to my childhood where I would spend hours sitting on my floor creating all these different shapes and designs using this incredible dough. Opening a brand new container and feeling the soft, squishy dough brought me excited as I was thinking about what I would create next. Play-Doh, however, was never intended to be something that a child would play with. And according to failsuccess.com, Play-Doh was invented by Joe McVicker as a wallpaper cleaner. I've been making Play-Doh for a while now, but I was never aware of the different recipes and techniques until I explored websites such as otots.com and bestrecipes.com. I additionally did research for the history of Play-Doh using failsuccess.com. Homemade no-cook Play-Doh can be achieved in 3 easy steps. The 3 steps of this process is obtaining the ingredients, combining them, and kneading the dough. According to otots.com, the original Play-Doh consisted of flour, salt, water, and boric acid and silicone oil. Since we cannot go to the grocery store and get boric acid and silicone oil, we have substituted them. To begin, you'll need the following ingredients. You need 2 cups of flour, but I'll also keep some extra just in case the dough gets sticky. 1 cup of water, well, a half a cup to a cup of water, but usually a half a cup does, and 1 cup of salt, and 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, and then 2 drops of food color, but I usually add more to make the color darker. Now that you have all the ingredients together, it is time to get your hands messy. Okay, the first thing you want to do is add the ingredients together, and you always add the dry ingredients first, so you add the flour and the salt together. That's a lot of salt, so you may not actually want to eat this. And so you need to try to get all the clumps of the flour out as much as possible, so it'll be easier for the wet ingredients to mix in with it, and you need to make sure that the salt is evenly mixed in with the flour. And it should look something like that, so it's not that hard. Now you want to add the tablespoon of cooking oil to the mix. And stir that in. The next step is to add the food coloring to the water. I add it to the water so it will make it easier for the color to actually blend in with the dough, and it also allows you to mix colors together to create different colors other than the normal colors. And so I add about 4 drops just to get a good color. And so you kind of swirl it. It's easier if you have a spoon, but you don't have to have it. And then you just pour it in there. And you mix it in. You need to make sure that all the dough is actually starting to turn the right color that you want it to be. That way you won't have just some random white dough. And you just stir it in really well. And if it seems like you need more water, you can add more, because sometimes a half a cup does not do it, and so you can add a little extra water if you need to. And if you want to, before you add the food coloring to the water, you can separate this mix and make 2 different kinds. That way you can have 2 different colors if you would like, or as many times you can separate it and get different colors. Once it's been kind of mixed in to your best ability, it is time for the final step, which is to knead the dough. What you want to do is you want to fold it in gentle folds, that way you can mix it in together. This is the step where you may want to add some extra flour to your hands and to the dough, that way it doesn't create such a big mess in your hands. You want to try to use the palm of your hand as much as possible instead of your fingers. That way it doesn't get stuck in your fingers. And you just gently fold it and squish it. Like this. And after you knead it for a while and it starts to look like the actual Play-Doh, you have successfully created homemade no-cook Play-Doh. Now you've seen how to make a version of one of your favorite childhood toys. Next time you have Play-Doh, want to play with Play-Doh, but don't actually have the actual Play-Doh, it's easy to make. All you have to do is gather the right ingredients, mix them together, and knead the dough. Next time when you are playing with Play-Doh, and I hope that you remember that you're actually playing with wallpaper cleaner.